Hi everybody, welcome to Valentine's week here at the Chateau de la Grifferaie. We had a good week.
We did, I think. Yeah, boy, weeks go by so fast.
I know.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah,
so I guess it has been a whole week.
We put some of the things in the video, but there's lots of other things that happened. Like we had some friends over from another chateau, and as we were going out for lunch, the van almost got stuck, and we were pushing it out, and so our friend was saying, "Hey, you should have put that on video." And we're like, "Oh, we really should have."
I know. Well, it's not that riveting.
Well, it was, I was pushing a van out. No, anyways, we've made good progress in the bathroom. We've also talked. It's Valentine's week. We've talked a little bit about love. We came up with a decision, I think, for 2026.
Oh, right. Summer.
We're very excited about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so we've had this idea, boy, since before we bought the chateau, honestly. We love marriage building events, and we've been a part of lots in the past, and this place looks like the perfect place for having a marriage retreat for a week. So we're going to do it in summer
of 2026, July. When we were young, we went to a couple, as you were saying, and it was really good for our marriage. You know, you talk about yourself, you talk about your partner, they give you little homework assignments, and it's quite fun because you're getting to know each other. And, honestly, a lot of us need help with marriage. Like, maybe some people it comes naturally, but for a lot of us, if you're a little bit selfish, like I'm a little bit selfish, you got to work at marriage. And marriage is one of those things.
Of course, that's what. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and marriage is one of those things. Well, I felt bad if I would interrupt you while we're talking about marriage. Marriage is one of those things that if it goes south, it just creates a world of pain for you and for everybody and for your kids if you have kids. And so we've always thought that the work of the kingdom is building marriage is part of that. We're still obviously doing our young study abroad is the main thing. So we're not really advertising here because we know this is going to fill up. We got on social media, on Facebook, we already got a gazillion people want to come. So we're not worried about that. And it's not really going to be a fundraiser either. It's just something we want to do. We're going to bring in a marriage expert. We know a few that we've grown up watching that are wonderful folks. And hopefully we'll do this more than once and bring different ones in. And probably have 1 or 2 sessions a day, and then during the day you can go off for a nice lunch date in one of the amazing places to eat
and do your homework.
Yeah, and then we'll have that's right, and then we'll do breakfast and dinners together. Probably just a week. Should be fun. Anyways, we're excited about that. I wanted to tell you about it.
Here's our beautiful boy. Did you have a good haircut, Bingley? Yes, you did. You were a very good boy. Yes, and you met some new friends. Yes. Always do a great job at Beauty Dog in the flesh. Yes, they do. Yes.
We've got another shower wall here. Yippee. That is a big piece.
More problem. Delivery.
Yay!
We got our next piece of marble.
Delivery.
Leslie for scale, by the way. I'll back up. Yeah, can you think we're gonna be able to get it inside?
Nope.
Okay, Leslie had a good idea for the containers.
Oh dear. So Rob's like, hey, we got a bunch of extra wood, and I'm looking at him going, let's just order 2 more and I'd have 4 garden beds.
Hope you can hear that from here. But she said
beds.
Raised garden beds. That's perfect, eh? So we'll see which parts we cut off. Really friendly guys. I know, here they come. Really friendly guys. Yeah, good working dudes. Did a nice job. How are you gonna cut it?
Oh, how we're gonna cut it? I was gonna talk about the garden beds. I'm kind of excited about the containers of the wood.
It's like a cat. You're happy about the box. You need the present.
Yeah, it's good. Now that we finally have both, I am thrilled that I got a different piece. I was worried that we were gonna get 2 of the same, so very happy about that. This has more of the caramel on it than the other, which is good. I don't know yet. We'll see. We need to first get that shower pan installed, and then we'll really see what we have to work with.
Here's a tour of the workplace. This is how it's looking. Every time we get the grinder out, it lays a significant amount of dust. And so I'm really looking forward to being done trenching out stuff. So here's what we got so far. Now I brought a piece in here, and we're gonna see if how it fits and how much more I have to take out. I am pleasantly surprised. That's enough, at least for this spot. So I'll go over the whole thing and make sure we're flat enough. I thought it was gonna maybe be bigger. So good, because of course every time you get the thing out, it's dusty for a day or 2. So here we go.
I was at the Brokeout, remember, last week, And I found, which I didn't actually put on camera, I found these little stools. I've been always looking for a bench to go straight underneath here. This is a table in the kitchen where we often do, you know, make your own pizza over here and stuff like that, and make your own crepes, all that kind of stuff. And then this table, they rotate through and eat their food, and then they leave. This is always on weekends, that kind of stuff. Sunday night, kind of casual. They do ping pong tournament in between and stuff like that. So anyways, but when we're working in here, I find the chairs around really annoying to try to use this table for any kind of prep or anything. So I've been trying to find the benches that probably were original for that table that would have snugged in on each side, but I can't find any yet. But I did find these little stools. So I bought 3 of them. I think there's 3 or 4 more, and I may go back and get them because they fit perfect when you sit there. You sit here, like perfect height for eating, and yeah, these are cute. I think they're keepers.
Okay, here we go. It's time to start up. I want to give you a sense of the project and kind of the mess that is made. Here we have Mr. Bingley. We have stuff from the bathroom. We have subway tiles. We have more bathroom stuff. Then we have our old tub, our old sink, our old toilet, some pipes, lots of stuff. Moving back into the bathroom, we got the old radiator, bottom left. And then I'll show you this. We got more tools. We got dust. We got pails to take out debris. And then we have a Martian moonscape. A shoe is sitting there. So job number 1 now. I think we're done with the big cutters. It's time to clean this place up. Yeah, we definitely got some rubble in here, that's for sure. Put it in the pails, take it outside.
Well, it was frosty this morning. Everything was white everywhere. It is chilly in here today, but it is trying to be a blue sky, and maybe some sun will peek through to help us out. But boy, it was chilly. So I'm doing a little vacuuming today because we have some guests coming tomorrow, some fellow Canadians that also bought a chateau sort of in our area, a little ways away, but not too bad. And so we just have dust accumulating everywhere from all of the, you know, trench digging we've been doing in the bathroom. Rob's been doing in the bathroom. And so we have a layer of dust on everything. It just gets everywhere, even with the doors shut and blocked and everything else. So this is a first. I got out the gloves for vacuuming. Mr. Bing's looking out the window. Hi, Bingy. Anyway, my hands are freezing. They're like numb. That's the first vacuuming. Usually if it's really cold, vacuuming is the answer to warm up. But usually my hands don't get cold. New first.
There's Mr. Bingley. It's evening time, and we have a little tradition. We go out and go to the bathroom. And apparently the lights are going off at 10 because it's kind of dark out here. So these steps are a bit treacherous. Take it easy. This would not be a good retirement home because there's just too many trip hazards. Speaking of which, I'm going painfully slow up the stairs. It's kind of a fun little ritual, and you know, around 10 each night we'll go out, and it's funny how living in a cold chateau changes you. The other night I'm like, man, it feels good out here. You know, I got my sandals on. I'm like, it's just so nice. It was peaceful. It wasn't very windy, and I'm thinking it must be warming up. Spring must be getting here. And I came inside and looked on the app, and it's +3. And yet I'm just feeling great. I'm like, oh, this is really comfortable. +3, ladies and gentlemen. That's like, what is that, 38 Fahrenheit? But somehow that feels warm. Crazy. Okay, good progress. Look at this. We have washed the wall, we have swept, we have mopped, we have vacuumed, not in that order. And I've washed this wall about 3 or 4 times because there was a lot of dust on the wall, but I think we got it off without wrecking the paint. And now it is time, rejoice with us friends, to start placing the base and also building our drainage. You know, jobs that, when you run into jobs that you just don't exactly know how to do it, they're scary and they go slower and you want to take breaks more often. You want to stop and think about it. It's tough, but we'll get done this and then we'll get to a job of tiling that's a little easier. So it will speed up a little bit. Classic example of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We put the base in, looked good, but then we realized that when the base is in, it's up half a foot, like a solid 6 inches, maybe more. And because of that, that looks way too low for the temperature. So we're gonna have to cut more tile. We're gonna have to bring it all the way up to here, which is tragic because I just spent the better part of a day cleaning this room and now we're gonna make it dirty again. So it's a 2-day loss, but I'm gonna try to make it a 1-day loss. I'm gonna try to just use a chisel, which makes far, far less dust. So we'll see if it works. Okay, we got it, and way less of a mess. I mean, there's a lot of material down there still, but chipping doesn't throw dust everywhere like the cutter. Also fascinating, if you're interested in this, to notice how they build these walls. This is a big, thick wall. I was noticing that you got some really big rocks, and you don't want to try to go through those. Then you got bricks, and they come apart pretty good. And then you got pieces of tuffeau in random spots. And that tuffeau, of course, you can just take down real easy. So you kind of have to pick your poison a little bit, but we'll get this thermostat up higher. And then we'll fill some of this. After we get all the pipes in, we'll fill it with something. Perfect timing. We just got back, and we got some tile. Let's see it, Bess.
We did. So it's a basket weave. I'm happy that it's not as, I was worried it was going to be really, really mostly kind of just gray blobs. So I'd rather have it white than not. I can't get this open with my fingers.
Okay, we'll get it open.
It's okay for home.
It's a bit of orange in there, maybe. Or is it, it's not Carrera Gold.
No, that would be Calcutta Gold, but no,
Calcutta
it's
Gold,
not. But it's interesting that there are some blondish bits.
Not rust.
Well, Carrera can rust if there's water, so, you know, not maybe terribly thrilled about
This is what, about $10 a sheet? Something like that?
Yes, 9, I think.
Yeah, it's all right.
So it's not super pricey, but
here's the bathroom coming together.
anyway, we'll see.
Tile, floor, shower. Rejoice with us, friends. The sun has come out. Oh my goodness, what a difference. You know, to live in a cold chateau and the stone under your feet and your breath and just the coldness. And then the sun comes out and the world warms up. Like that big, huge building absorbing all that energy. You know, to say nothing of the solar power coming in, we'll take that too. But even without that, just the sun coming through these big 12-foot tall windows, just bringing us the heat. Oh, we are thankful.
It's pure joy and a beautiful gift when you get some sun after the amount of days that we've had with no sunshine, just rain and gray skies and fog and cloud really low. Better. It just motivates you to get out and to get going. And it's actually much nicer today, even though it's the same temperature as yesterday. It feels dramatically different than it did yesterday, just because of the humidity and how high the clouds are today, that kind of stuff. So yeah, yay, time to get the roses going. I'm gonna do a little experiment. I'm out here in the old rose garden with all of the urn and the old trellises with all the roses all the way around in the back. And for some of you who followed for a while, there was this little rose that was pretty much dead. It looked dead, but it had one tiny little straggly piece of green on it. And our second year it bloomed and it was beautiful. It's a nice, beautiful, luscious little cream rose that's just lovely. And I love cream roses. So we have nursed him and he's actually come back, not bad actually, and he bloomed several times last summer. So I actually took some trimmings because I thought it's time to start giving him a little haircut so that he will keep producing more. And hopefully he'll continue to grow into a nice big plant. He has some new growth at the base, which I'm happy to see. Hopefully it's the same rose. Cross our fingers on that one. And I'm going to see if we can propagate these. I don't know if I'll be successful. In 4 or 5 months, we'll find out. But maybe before that, if they just end up rotting. So this one, and then I have another one around by the house that I like that's sort of peachy pink that I like very much. So we'll give it a go, and maybe in several months from now, about the same time our vanity's going to show up. Hey, Bing Bing, you are a mess. But he's had a lovely afternoon. Maybe we'll have roses and a bathroom vanity. I know the phrase, make hay while the sun shines, is a phrase that fits better when we're in October and the farmers are trying to harvest and they finally have no rain and they can get the crop off. But in our case, when it's been so wet, I have finally got out here despite it saying 90% rain, and I've been pruning these roses down from all their gangliness, even though they have been blooming. Is there one here? No, but there's some over here, which I may bring in because I just can't bear leaving them out here for no reason. So we're making progress so we can have more of these babies in a few months.
Look at this, guys. We got the sun. Oh man, you have no idea how glorious that is for us. When you're cold in the chateau, that sun comes out. Oh, it's just magnificent. It's also Valentine's week, and Leslie and I had a nice meal yesterday. Here are some clips. Happy Valentine's Day. We did go out. Apparently it's less of a thing in France, but that looks good. What do you got there?
Looks like a poached egg on like a butternut puree. Yum.
And
it's warm.
Pretty soft egg, eh?
It's shaking. It's wiggly.
Ooh, looks good. And I have the smoked trout. That's a nice little appetizer. Okay, the main course is here. What do you have, Les?
That's a good question.
Pork, I think, right?
It's called a pork confit with potatoes.
Yeah, looks good. And I went very conventional. That looks good. I went
But it looks
a conventional
good.
burger. Incidentally, I asked if they had ketchup. They said nope. Okay, so Leslie had to go out and take a call. And so it's an empty chair. But Leslie got the chocolate fondant, which she loves, and the homemade ice cream, by the way. And I got a fromage blanc, which is actually not my favorite, but it is tasty. Kind of like yogurt a little bit. And it's good. It was the only option on the menu du jour. But good little dessert. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's a sunrise. Actually a little bit of rain and a little bit of a sunrise, so I thought I'd come out and get it. Boy, you know, it's Valentine's Day. I woke up thinking about love this morning, and kindness and marriages, and how marriages are different, and how you don't want to judge somebody else's marriage. I thought I'd come over here and try to catch a cool new view of the house. That's okay. I always like this view of the house, but I was trying to catch a little bit of sunrise in the morning with it. Got a little bit. At the bottom there, you can see our propane bottles. It's that time of the year when I get them all refilled. I think we refilled 4 of them. We have maybe 5 bottles. They run the stoves, the ovens, and the barbecues, and even some butane heaters in the house. So it's nice to have them all full.
So, in lieu of Valentine's Day, which this will be our rose, which actually you can still smell, just cut it off outside. I've been doing a bunch of pruning today because it finally isn't raining. I'm not going to propagate these guys, but I have been watching online how people propagate roses or a bunch of other things. I mean, I don't know. We're going to give it a go and see, right? I don't need more of these. We have a lot of these. And they're really not, like, I like them, but only because we inherited them. I generally don't go for this color of rose. I like the creams and the blushes and the peaches and the yellows and all of those guys. However, he's not bad. So I'm gonna show you what I did and which roses I cut. And then we'll see if in a few months it actually works. I had my little garden trug that I came with because I had roses at home too. I'm down in the ugly boiler room space because I have nowhere to do potting and stuff yet, so I'm making a royal mess. And I just don't want to be outside right now. It's like sunny but windy, and anyway, here we are. So the instructions were, you're supposed to take, they call it, I forget what they call it. You know, like, it's interesting how in other countries, we both speak English, but they have completely different words than we use. Anyways, some kind of potting soil. So I did see this at the store. It had pictures of little seedlings on it. So I'm thinking that that's for planting seeds, which I also hope to get to as well. And then they say you're supposed to mix it up with some horticultural grit. Now, I have no idea. I understand both words, horticultural and grit. I don't know what that is. So what I did was actually go grab some sand from the square outside and mixed some of that at the bottom and then mixed it on the top. I have no idea if that's the same, but it's gritty. So, you know, we're going for it. So I cut some that rose on the side of the house that's kind of peachy and pinky and a bit of yellow too. Like, I love it. It's great. So I'm trying out, 3-4 plants? 4. I don't know. We'll see. They say to cut the top at an angle, the base flat. This was just an extra piece I just hucked in to see what happens. And then to cut back the foliage. And I also have some rooting hormone, because in the past I've tried to just sort of pluck it into the dirt and nothing has happened. I tried that last year. So this year I have the rooting hormone. I'm hoping that that's going to work. And you just stick them in there. And I don't know. We'll see. The other ones I'm going to do, this is my little plant, in the back that had the really creamy roses, the one that was almost dead out in the old rose garden behind the house. And so I don't know, the stems are very, very skinny compared to my other guy over here who's quite beefy. So I was like, well, let's see what happens. I'm no further behind or ahead if it happens or not. Some of these don't even hardly have any leaves. You're supposed to cut below a leaf bud and below a leaf bud and just above a leaf bud. So, again, I don't know. It's an experiment, right? I think we'll know fairly quickly if it's going to start to root or it's not at all. We'll find out and go from there.
Notice the birds are back. I think with us being here all year, we were a little surprised that the bird noise went down quite a bit during the winter, but it's spring and you can hear a lot more of them right now. Progress report. We're making progress. It's been a mentally challenging project because just when you think you're there, you realize one more thing you need to do. Okay, we're on to the drain, and I'm using these tiles to temporarily prop up the pipe so that they maintain the correct slope. I'm going to build some supports because, of course, this goes under the shower base. Now, if you're a plumber, I realize there is no good solution here. Like, we have 3 things all going into one really small junction. So I'm just trying to keep the water going the right way and have it not come back. I'm going to put an airflow inlet up here and maybe even a water hammer arrestor too, because we've been having some problems with that. But, here we go. You do the best you can. I suppose the most basic thing in building a drain is you got to make sure that it's running downhill because you want the water to go downhill. So we got, maybe it's a little too much slope there. You can see the bubble. Can you see the bubble? There's the bubble. So it's quite a bit of slope, but it's gonna have to do. This one's not quite as much, I don't think. But I think we got the slope all going the right way, I think, and we'll see if this works. We're gonna water test it first before we close it up for sure. Nice to get back to the old wood shop. It's you'll notice Jeremy's putting some sockets in for us, and also outdoor connections for the heat pump. So very exciting. Also lights, not installed yet, but very close. So very exciting for us. It doesn't look exciting for you probably, but functional stuff like that is significant. And here we are, we've gotten to the wood shop and we made our supports for our drain. Now it's a little of a weird situation because they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So we're just gonna use some construction adhesive to get that on the ground. And then I think what I'm gonna use is maybe zip ties, put a screw here and then a zip tie around it to hold it tight. And then we're also gonna use it, they're all cut to 14 centimeters. So we're gonna put this kind of under the base, and it gives it a little additional support so that the spans are shorter and we don't crack the porcelain. So I'll put a little shim in there at the top and it'll be nice and tight and it'll give a little support. And we got 9 centimeters, 8, 9, and 7. So it's all kind of, everything's running towards the drain. I'm actually quite pleased with how this is going. We've got the copper adjusting into PEX and then running over for the toilet. And then the hot and cold is gonna go right up there. And I'm really happy with these little supports. Look at them. I decided to put some wood underneath and just construction adhesive down to the ground. The wood will also support the base a little bit. So now it's time to see if we can get a level base. Okay, well, let's try and improve your game a little bit. And so we've got the laser level, and we can kind of see, we can go around and see, you know, the relative elevation of each of these. I think I got the bricks about all right, and the wood is just slightly shorter, so we're gonna put a shim on each of the wood. That was intentional. And I think this is gonna be good. Shower base in, perfectly level. Drain lines up, fingers crossed.
All right, friends, we're gonna take a poll and see what everyone thinks. Look at that blue sky. Don't you love it when we get it? Anyways, on this side of the house, which is the kitchen side and where we usually park, there's this weird cement thing. I don't know, but we're not allowed to take it out. So we've had a number of people say they think we should put something on it. We have had a cone on it. That's not very beautiful. But I did just find a good deal on a big plastic pot, basically, quite large, that can sit in the middle of this guy, so that if we put something in it, then we will be able to see it easier if there's like a big tree in there or something. So the question is, what do we stick in it? That is the question. I'm not sure yet. We could put in a big palm tree right next to the chateau. We could put a big olive tree. This is full sun. It gets crazy hot right there in the summer. We could put, I don't know, fruit tree. I have no idea. Give me your ideas. And I think it needs to be something fairly significant, considering it's beside a very tall house and a very tall tree. So what ideas have you got? Hot sun, low maintenance. I can't have a lot of issues. Don't have time for that.
Almost the end of the week and the jobs are becoming more fun. We're getting closer to tiling and it's time to install some plumbing fixtures now. I bit the bullet and I got some PEX stuff. This is kind of cool how this works. You get like a little cable like this, and then you slide the sleeve on it, and then you use this little device to widen it. You gotta like open it up like that, make it big, and then you slide it on. I have to slide it on all the way, and then you use this device here to crimp it. So it goes, and it pulls this little metal thing over the edge, and then it's a really, really solid connection. So this is a step up from the push-on connects, and these are quite a bit cheaper. Like these little guys are maybe $4 or $5 or $6 instead of like $7, $8, $9, $10. So even though you have to pay maybe $60 or $70 for the device, I think even in a little job like this, we break even. And of course, any job in the future now is going to be much cheaper because we have this. So it's going to be fun. We're going to start to put this stuff in, and yeah, wish me luck. Side note, the right tool makes such a difference. I was using like a reciprocating saw, and then I had to go back with sandpaper to clean it up. Look at this thing. It's just like really nice edge, super easy, super quick. The right tool, laser level, gives me my exact line all the way up. Just gonna trace it with the marker, just as a reference point. All right, let's do this. We're gonna expand, expand, expand. Push on hard as we can, really hard. Boy, this thing is great so far. I can't even explain how solid that is. That's really, really incredible. That's gonna work. Okay, stage 2. I heard a plumber say once that you're supposed to wrap this around like 15 times, which feels really excessive. But it's definitely more than you think it's supposed to be. Teflon tape. That should be enough. Put this guy on the bottom. I went the wrong way, it looks like, but that's all right, it'll go in still. Or maybe I didn't. It's Saturday and it's time to start editing some videos, so I think we're gonna call it a day. This is good. All the connections are looking fantastic. It's the water is on. There's no leaks. There are no leaks. You can see I filled the back a little bit, and that thing sits flat. And then I stuck a little piece of wood in there and screwed into the wood. And I just got this pushing it in just so that it doesn't fall out while it hardens. So I think we're ready to go. I think next week we start hard with the big shower walls. Cut the holes. I think it's gonna look great.
Well, we're watching the guys looking for different animals on the property, and as I'm wiping the water off the window, I notice a very large crevice. Yikes.
I know, that's great. Yeah.
Nothing. I can't find the way.
Look at that, guys. We got sun. The birds are out. Moving over to the left here, Mr. Bingley. I gotta stand here so it shouldn't be too crazy. Mr. Bingley's there. What are you doing, Mr. Bingley? What are you doing? He's out because his mama is out. Let's see if we can get her back here. Because his mama is out. I don't know if you can see her. She is debugging a lemon tree. She's got that lemon tree she loves, and it seems to have gotten bugs. So he's picking every single bug off outside. Oh my goodness, that's love. Update on the solar panels. Beautiful day for it. Lots of bright light. Boy, I gotta be honest, guys, they're not doing a ton. Like, I look at the EDF bill. Now, granted, it's been January and February, and it's been extremely cloudy. But there has been a very little difference to the bill so far. They say they produce 3 kilowatts, but I have not seen it. So I don't know, we'll see. Fortunately, we didn't spend a ton on the solar panels. Like, what was it? I think it's $1,500 for the panels and the material. Another $100 bucks, another $500 for the electrician. and you know, the connection cables. So really we're only in 2000. But we'll see as the sun comes out more here and it gets hotter if it starts to put a dent in the old electrical bill.
So my first batch was much better specimen for video, but anyway, so these are kind of, like I say, tiny and itty bitty, but we're gonna give it a go and put some in this hormone, rooting hormone. Oh, they also said you're supposed to scratch up the outside of the stem and, ouch, I should put my gloves back on, huh? And, you know, that kind of opens up the juices. And I'm gonna stick that back in again. I don't know if there's you can use too much of this stuff. Don't know. And we're gonna stick them in. That's all they say to do. I don't know. Let's do another and see what happens. And I'm gonna do a whole bunch of these little guys. And I mean, again, what can happen? Nothing. Which is possible that they're just gonna sit there and maybe rot. I don't know. But we'll scratch them up and put them in the magic powder and stick them in. I don't know, guys. They say it's ridiculously easy. Well, we'll find out. And I like plants and have kept plants for years. So, I mean, it's possible. It would be delightful if this worked. I would love it. Lastly, they said to put on a cool, shady windowsill. So we're in the dumbwaiter room in the basement, as you can see, the old dumbwaiter. And I had a little table in here. So I figured, well, little guys, all snug as bugs in here, we're gonna just leave you in here and see what happens. We'll try to keep it moist. They already are. And there's a bunch in there. I have no idea if that'll work. And we'll see.
Batteries for scale. You know, every once in a while, you find a good deal here in Europe. Like, for example, look at that. Look at those big wrenches. This big guy, massive adjustable pipe wrench, $6 at Aldi. So that's going to be great because every once in a while I run into a really big one, and this is going to give us the leverage for $6.
Well, some of you had asked what are some of the products that I have liked that have been French that I have found being here, and some that I used already in the States before we came here. Let me show you. Okay, here is the first one, Lancome. Yes, I know it's a department store brand and can be pricey, but this I have used, this cleanser, since I was like 19. And my sister took me when she was like, it's time to grow up, you need to use real products. It has been a great cleanser on multiple levels. I think they just discontinued it in America, which is very sad. And it's fantastic. I would only buy 2 bottles a year. I would use just a little squirt of foam and it does the job on every level. And I would get away with, so I think they were like $22 each or something. And that's all I would use. I would use 2 bottles a year every 6 months. It's fantastic. They still have it here in France, which I am thrilled about because I would be bummed if I lost that. They have some other ones that are good too, but I always tend to go back to that one, especially in the summer. In the winter, sometimes they have a creamier one that I use that's nice. But anyway, you know, they give a lot of deals. So you buy something for a certain price and then they give you a bunch of samples and stuff like that. That is how almost all my travel stuff is. And that's how I try stuff. So this was one of those things where you had to have a little bit more and it was like $12 or I don't know what it was at the time. But this has been a great little sugar scrub. Now this Evian water face stuff. There's different brands that do this and whatnot. This is one of what I consider a bougie thing to do in life. My skin is really sensitive and has been annoyed multiple times with eczema and things like that. And so this is what I spray on for like before I put anything on, before I put a serum on, before I put on foundation, or any moisturizer. I just can't handle anything full strength. So having a little bit of nice pure water on my face has been a game changer. It has been so great. And these last forever. And they may be expensive in America, but they're ridiculously a good deal here in France. You know, when you see things that, you know, runway shows and stuff use, and they always used to talk about L'Oreal hairspray, you know, it's great. I only like the yellow one. The other ones smell like grandmother's hairspray or whatever. But my hair, I have a lot of it, which is great. I curl it as soon as I wash it and dry it, and then it lasts several days, but only because I put some hairspray in right away. My hair is very soft and silky, which is lovely, but it won't hold. It also just slips right out when you want to curl it or something, straight or otherwise. So I find this just sort of sets it a little bit, and it doesn't make it feel crunchy, but will at least hold the curl for 3 or 4 days. La Roche-Posay I love also. This is their, I don't know how they say it, Lipicarbome, I don't know. But at any rate, again, this has been, I've used for years in the States because my hands are so angry all the time. And this stuff is fantastic. Amazingly, this is no cheaper here than in America. I have no idea why, but it's great. Caudalie is a French brand that you get in the pharmacies here, and they're fantastic. I just started their serum. I haven't used a ton of it. My sister used to use it all the time and is back using it again. So this stuff has been lovely. I have a few other serums I like to use. What else? The Lancome eye cream is great. You know, we're getting older, so there's getting to be little creases here and here, honestly, but here, and wiggly eye skin. Isn't that funny? You know, you saw your siblings ahead of you or moms ahead of you getting the wiggly eye skin thing, and now you get the wiggly eye skin. Anyways, the Genifique eye, especially when we're traveling and it's so dry on the airplanes, that stuff's great. It could be this kind. I don't actually care. It's whatever is on sale, and I'm getting as a deal through the thing. Both are fantastic, but those are a little snippet into what I like using, and happy hunting.
Yeah, thanks for coming with us. Next week, you'll see that shower start to come together. We made good progress, even though it was a lot of background stuff this week.
The sooner, the better.
Yeah, we'll get those glorious pieces of marble up there. Mr. Bingley, by the way, also got his haircut yesterday. We got to get I'll get a close-up of him. Everybody loves Mr. Bingley. Yeah, they do. Yeah, there he is.
He's not bringing half the forest in now.
No, it's a little easier to clean. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.